He's hit and he's dropped. What a performance by the Seahawks defense.
Play is strung out by KJ Wright.
He steps up, throws to the middle of the field, it's intercepted to Tatupu.
And when I get close to the quarterback, you know, a bunch of guys say my eyes get real big. I just get so excited.
Rufus Porter, can't stop the man.
You look at the history of Seahawks linebackers, and there's the good lineage there. I mean, even all the way back to Fred Young, who had made more of a name for himself on special teams with the huge hits he would deliver.
Williams at the 1 yard line, kids up the middle behind the wedge. The 15 is heaved, written down. He really got clothesline.
Fans knew exactly who he was.
I think every era sort of had somebody, longtime Seahawks fans would remember Keith Butler from the early days.
Think about all the old names. Sometimes people will drop one, and that's wrong, and they should feel shame for not remembering Keith Butler. Made all sorts of plays for the Seahawks. That team in the early years, you know, didn't make the playoffs for a while, but they were always fun, and there were certain guys that would stand out.
Before I turn it over to Brian and Chuck.
One of the bigger, what might have been in Seahawks history was drafting Brian Bosworth, and then that kind of flamed out after 3 years in the injury he had. But it was definitely an interesting time in Seahawks history. The Bos made things kind of fun there for a couple of years with his antics and the T-shirts and things like that.
Blue 29! They're scared to death of you.
Chad Brown was a great player for the Seahawks.
This is one of the guys that I've never seen practice hard, and he brought that to that team, and it really needed. He was a personality. He was a real star.
Pay train is coming. The pay train is coming.
He came in '97. It was when the year Paul Allen was able to finally buy the team, and Chad Brown was sort of a signal of the times were changing and that maybe things were going to get better as they eventually did.
All right, Seahawks fans, we're here with Lofa Tatupu. Lofa, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, we're sitting here in Lofa Tatupu's locker, which interestingly is in the the rookie side. Now you're not playing like a rookie, but what's up with the rookie locker?
You know, I got the hose job, man. I mean,
Drafting Lofa Tatupu was a huge part of why the Seahawks finally reached the Super Bowl for the first time. He came in as kind of a instinctive quarterback of the defense who sort of got it.
Lofa Tatupu puts the Seahawks in perfect scoring position.
That defense sometimes gets overlooked a little bit because of the focus on Matt Hasselbeck and Sean Alexander and the offensive line they have, but that defense really came up big at some key times, and especially in the playoffs, you know, the way they held down Washington and Carolina in those two playoff games.
We're going to take this division again! Hawks on three! 1, 2, 3, Hawks!
Big time stretch these last 3 games. We know I must win, and so, you know, in order to win 3, you got to win 1. And so we go come out here and try to handle business.
The Seahawks have a long history of good linebackers. I mean, Bobby Wagner leads the way for sure, but he and KJ Wright almost operated as one. I think Bobby would tell you, first and foremost, KJ Wright made him the linebacker that he is today.
Really consistent, dependable guy. You know, the king of screens, I think they called him.
He had this wingspan of an albatross, and quarterbacks knew that he was going to get to the ball. He had tremendous reach, tremendous range, long legs.
Ball is slapped away at the last second. What a great defensive play. KJ Wright has been all over the field.
KJ Wright could get to everywhere on the field.
Probably underrated because there were other guys who, you know, got a little bit more of the acclaim, but he was a huge part of that defense. And to me, he's a Ring of Honor type guy.
It's intercepted. It's Bobby Wagner from the goal line. 99 yards. He lays down in the end zone.
Well, on the Mount Rushmore for the Seahawks, Bobby Wagner is probably one of the guys that you have to consider putting in there.
And I think the one thing that made Bobby so good is he was a competitor. He read stories about him. He listened to what you were saying about him. He would let you know that he heard you, he read you.
The best defense in the world. Start showing us our respect.
What a career. What an amazing player. The longevity, yes. The toughness, of course. The smarts, obviously. But just the fact that he's able to play as many games, as many starts, as many plays, every play during a season for all of his career.
We got a standard here, and we're going to uphold this standard.
And become that leader of a young defense and take this team to a Super Bowl championship and take them to a second Super Bowl the following year. Bobby could do it all.
Intercepted, coming back the other way, it's Bobby Wagner.
The history of linebacking on the Seahawks is very strong, led by everything Bobby Wagner.